Hey there, thanks for joining us on Vision, the show all about the College of Arts and Sciences. I'm Lindsay Poe, your host this season, and today we are talking all about the theater program that's housed in the College of Arts and Sciences here at Mississippi State. And our first guest, Tim Matheny, he is an assistant professor in the Department of Communication, but of theater. So welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
And an exciting year ahead.
Oh yes, always exciting.
Always exciting in theater, so much going on. I know you guys are super busy and have been busy leading up to the start of school with your first production. We'll get to that really quick, but I just want you to give us a brief bio. I know this is your third year here at Mississippi State.
Yeah.
So what do you teach? You're not only over the theater, but you teach theater classes.
As well. Yeah. Well, my area of theater, we're a three member department, and so Cody Stockstill, who is our sort of everything, he's scenic lighting, all that. Melanie does costumes. My area is more in the area of performance, so I do directing, acting, and I also teach a class in playwriting as well.
All right, and so 3 years of that. Do you like Mississippi State?
I do, yeah. I came from a smaller private Christian institution, which had about 4,000 students, 4,000 students, to coming to Mississippi State. So much bigger, you know, state school, so awesome. SEC school, so it's been really great.
Fun. Yeah. Okay, so let's get to the first production, which is The Hobbit.
Hobbit, yeah.
When is it, first of all?
Well, The Hobbit, it's our children's show. We do a children's show every year. We're really committed to theater for young audiences, and so every year we do a show, and we found that this first slot is usually kind of the best slot for teachers, for testing and all kinds of different reasons. And so we do a series of student shows throughout the week, and then we really only have one single public performance for families to be able to come to, and that's going to be September 30th at 2 p.m.
Okay, September 30th, a Sunday at 2 p.m. The Hobbit, it's family friendly, which is what you said. Yeah. Children will be able to follow along, the whole family can come. Why did you choose The Hobbit?
Well, every year we try to find shows that are not only stuff that we feel like the public would be interested in coming to, but also stuff that would be challenging for our students and things that are from an educational theater standpoint. And so this year is I've kind of named it our literary year. So we're doing all sort of literary shows, The Hobbit, Dracula, The Tempest. And so The Hobbit is just a, you know, with Lord of the Rings and the recent production of Peter Jackson's Hobbit movie, we felt like it was enough distance from that movie that we could do a stage production and not be necessarily compared to the movie.
But it was fitting.
But it was fitting. Yeah. It was just a good time for a good fantasy production.
And you only have about 4 weeks to get a cast ready.
Yeah, from the time that we audition and we'll cast the show, they'll have about 4 weeks of rehearsal, and then they're performing in front of people. So. Can
you talk about how difficult that's going to be?
It's a little tight. Working around different schedules with football and so forth, we're kind of have to narrow down where we're going to be able to perform, and so that fit within it. It's a scaled down production. Obviously, it's been kind of cut down a little bit to make sure things can all fit in, and so it runs about an hour and 15 minutes. So it's doable within that time frame. We rehearse 5 days a week for about 3-4 hours a night. Nice. And so we'll get it done.
It's a commitment, right?
Yeah.
And so then we're going to skip over the second play and talk about the third play, which is The Tempest. It's William Shakespeare. That's happening in April.
That's happening in April, yeah. The 11th through the 13th in April.
And so that's kind of a full show schedule kind of a thing.
Yeah, we'll have a little bit more time. Obviously, because it's Shakespeare, we're going to give a little bit more time for the actors to kind of work with the language. We want to make sure that they can communicate it. I always say to my actors, you can't communicate something that you don't fully understand yourself. And so we want to make sure that they grasp all the nuances and the details of Shakespeare.
Wonderful. Okay, so that's September, April. You've got a show in between, which is Dracula, but Cody's going to talk about that in our second segment. Yeah. So I just want you to speak kind of on the importance of theater in general. You know, you guys have 3 big productions, packed house normally. You know, you've got schools that come. Why is theater important in the community? Why is it important for education?
Yeah. Well, theater traditionally has been has always been important to every culture that's had it, and you pretty much can find theater or theater-like elements in every culture around the world, whether it be in rituals that happen for community theater or community rituals or religious rituals. There's always theatrical aspects that are involved in it: costuming, dance, storytelling, and so one of the things you find throughout history is that it's often said that theater is something that holds a mirror up to society or holds a mirror up to the culture, so that the culture sees itself in a very straight light. But theater also sort of shapes that culture, and so I feel very privileged and very respectful to the role that we play in theater, and also passing that down to our students so that they're responsible artists as they not only hold a light up to the culture, but they also shape that culture.
Okay, really nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Tim, for joining us today. And you guys remember that it's September 30th, The Hobbit.
At 2 p.m.
Family friendly, 2 p.m. And then you've got The Tempest in April. And we've got much more to talk about when it comes to the theater coming up after this short break.
Have you ever thought about what it would take to eliminate one of the most dreaded illnesses of the year? At Mississippi State University, we're dreaming big, fast on the heels of scientific discoveries that will lead to the prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of flu and other illnesses. For researchers, the biggest challenge is keeping pace with viruses that are constantly evolving to become more contagious. But at Mississippi State, we have the upper hand. Our scientists are working with teams around the world to predict when and where new viruses will emerge, combining forces to create flu vaccines before epidemics actually hit. That's because, as a premier research university, we believe it is our responsibility to help improve the lives of those around us. And we're working hard to help create a world where the flu is something children will one day read about in history books. You know the scene in those popular TV crime shows when the investigators show up? The one where they scratch their heads while trying to figure out who committed the homicide and when? At Mississippi State University, we're solving mysteries behind real-life crime scenes with forensic research that's a first of its kind. Teaming with microbiologists from around the country, we're examining microscopic bacteria that can help solve real murders. So far, our partnership with a major metropolitan medical examiner is yielding results with more than 200 real-life crime samples analyzed. We're learning how microbiomes change and relocate, uncovering evidence in criminal investigations by better pinpointing time of death. Way more exciting than being a TV detective. We're finding crucial answers when they're needed most. Solving mysteries with science, that's worth watching.
Welcome back to Vision. We've got more about the theater program at MSU, and our second guest today is Cody Stockstill. He's an assistant professor of theater in the Department of Communication. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so kind of what I did with Tim, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do here in the program, other than just direct and you know, control, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm an assistant professor and the coordinator for the theater program here at State. My primary role here is the resident designer, in addition to my teaching courses. And that is, I do the scenic design, the lighting design, sometimes the sound design, and technical direction, which is basically taking those design elements and making them happen. So
do you do all of the handwork yourself, like building of things?
I work with a team of students. We have some student workers. I have about 4 that help me do everything, in addition to a theater practicum class. So I incorporate the teaching element of it and the theories that we talk about in class with the actual application of it onto our productions.
Okay, so you do have some help, but you're in control of all that. I feel like that takes such a special creative mind to make that all come together.
You definitely have to be organized. You can't have sort of that chaotic mindset with it. You've got to have all your plans and all your ducks in a row in order for everything to sort of be pulled off.
Seems stressful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
More power to you.
Sometimes.
Okay, so we talked about The Hobbit, the first play, and The Tempest, the third play.
Yeah.
So Dracula.
Yeah, Dracula.
I'm
really excited.
Everybody knows the name.
Bram Stoker. Yep.
So Why did you pick it? It's in November, so November 14th through 16th at 7:30 at night.
Yes.
So a late show.
Yes.
Late show.
Absolutely.
Fitting, right? Why did you pick this? What's exciting about it? You know, why should people come out?
I have wanted to do Dracula. I mean, okay, first off, I'm a huge horror movie fan. And Dracula is the original horror story.
Right.
It has been in the back of my head since I got here five years ago. And I've wanted to do it. Now is the opportune moment. We had the students that it would be a challenge for. The design is a challenge. To be able to pull this off and tell the story the way that it's written is a challenge that we are really looking forward to stepping up to. This one's going to be a blast because it is terrifying. There are some absolutely terrifying moments in the script that we cannot wait to make the audience scream. And as an actor, as a designer, as a director, nothing's more fun and more gratifying than hearing your audience react, whether it be laughing, whether it be sort of that moment of suspense or screaming their head off.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay.
Of course, it is Dracula, so it's not for kids.
It's not family friendly,
right? It is not family friendly.
When I was prepping for the show, I was like, 2 out of 3, that's pretty good,
yeah.
right? You cannot bring your family.
No, this is not
16 plus.
Yes,
right?
16 plus is
Okay.
what we're recommending. Come see The Hobbit. Come see Tempest with families.
Okay.
Dracula, leave the kids at home.
Leave the kids at home, date night.
Yes.
Come out with friends
Yes.
if you're college students.
Absolutely.
So how can people get tickets to these shows? We've talked about them. What's the best way to go about that?
Well, what we've done actually recently, last year, we partnered with Student Affairs, and we are now on their ticketing system. So you can go to events.msstate.edu and you can get not only our tickets, but you can get Lyceum Series tickets and Music Maker tickets. So it's sort of, we're trying to create a central hub for all the performing arts on campus for tickets.
So online.
Yeah, online, events.msstate.
Events.msstate. That should be easy to remember.
Oh, yeah.
So you have a special project this year. We've talked about the 3 big. You have a student project in February. Can you talk about this briefly?
Yeah, this is a student-run project.
Okay.
When I say student-run project, what I mean is it's student-directed, it's student design, it's student stage managed. They're going to take what we teach them and what they work on our productions with us, and they're going to do it themselves. So we're just sort of the overseers. We're going to help pay for it for them, but this is their baby.
And so they'll pick it themselves, or will you?
Well, what we've done is we sort of set this up more in the professional sense. In the professional sense, you're given a play.
Okay.
Hey, do you want to do, Les Mis?
Okay.
I want to design Les Mis. I want to direct Les Mis.
Right.
So that's what we've done is we picked a play that's going to be a challenge for our students, and they're going to have to step up to the challenge.
And that's in February.
That's in February.
More details to come.
Absolutely.
Right? But
yes.
make sure that you come out to see The Hobbit September 30th. I'm plugging that one because it's the first one. But
Yeah.
September 30th, 2 p.m.
Yeah, 2 p.m.
Family friendly, and then Dracula and The Tempest.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
for being on the show today, and thank you for joining us on Vision. We'll see you next time.